What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Rated C podcast. I am your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the podcast. So today, I just want to talk to you about. We'll be speaking to you about New Year's and making a resolution. But as of right now, I want to speak to you about The Walking Dead. Yes, man, The Walking Dead. Such an exciting show, and I can't believe it actually ended, man. This show was probably one of the greatest shows I ever seen in television, for real. I think this show started maybe around 2011 or so. Hold on, let me just search it up right now. But I am right. It came out around 2011. Okay, let me see. I was just 1 year off. It actually came out in 2010. The show came out on October 31st, 2010. Out of all days, it came out on Halloween Day, which is very awesome, man. To be honest, I believe the very first 4 seasons of the show, I think they were the best ones in my opinion, because they had characters that we really liked, and most of the characters that came out after season 6, they were all different characters from different backgrounds, and there were just a ton of characters to take in. And throughout season 1 through 4, you get to recognize these characters. There's a bit of characters that came in, but there was always the original characters that were there from the very first season. These characters I'm speaking of are Rick, Carl, Glenn, Carol, and Daryl. Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody else. But yes, these were the most important characters from the very first season. Oh, and let's not forget about Shane and Lori. They were there for the first 2 seasons. Well, Lori was there for the first few episodes for season 3, but then she had to be gone. You know how it goes in the show. If you guys have not seen it, yes, I don't want to spoil it for you. But to be honest, these characters, they were the most important thing about the show, and I believe the all the actors that played these characters, they played them very well. My favorite one overall, it was Glenn, and man, I was just devastated how it all ended for him. I'm not gonna tell you how it ended because I don't want to spoil it for you if you've just never seen the show. To be honest, it just really sucked how it ended for him, and I wish he stayed on until the ending of the show. I haven't seen the whole show through and through. The last episode I've actually stopped on was on season 10, episode 17. You know, I actually thought that I've actually finished the show. I thought I actually finished it for season 10, episode 16. I thought that was going to be the last one for that season. But no, there's actually 22 episodes for that season. Never in The Walking Dead has there ever been more than 22 episodes in one season. So I was a bit surprised. For the first season, it was 6 episodes. And for the rest of the seasons, it was just only 16. So yeah, man, it was really surprising. Why would they make it like that? But to be honest, just more content, I guess. But it was actually a fun season. Season 10 was, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit slow at times, but it seemed like they were getting things done as well. And on this season, they were actually facing the Whisperers. And man, these are scary people. Would you be able to survive living with the Whisperers? For me, I don't know, man. These people are scary because they actually do walk with the dead. No pun intended. But yeah, because they actually cut their skin off and just wear it. Just like how all the zombies walk, they blend in. We actually have the leader. Her name is Alpha. We actually really didn't get to know her name, to be honest. She has her daughter, Lydia. Lydia is a very important character because she was like one of the main reasons why Alpha started attacking like all the main characters' houses, like the hilltop. I don't know what happened to the kingdom. Probably I just wasn't paying attention on that part, but like it seemed like they just abandoned it on season 9 on the last episode, the winter episode. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe it was just getting very dangerous for them. But yeah, man, it was just very strange. Why would that happen? But going back to Lydia, she's an important character because she finally got to actually have all the people from Alexandria love her. Like after the incident that happened around season 9, like the last episodes, there was the scene where all the heads were in the spikes, you know. Well, on that scene, an important character. If you guys don't want to be spoiled with the character I'm going to speak of right now, just fast forward just 20 seconds. I will be done real quick, okay? So the character I'm mentioning is Henry. He was a very important character to everybody, to Alexandria, to Kingdom, to the Hilltop, to Ezekiel, and to Carol. He was a very important character, and not only that, he was also very important to Lydia. And without him, she felt kind of lonely, and she felt like the only way that she can gain trust from everybody else is to actually find Alpha and to take her down. But she didn't actually did take Alpha down. She helped the group, like how they worked their way through against the Whisperers, but she didn't actually kill Alpha because since that's her mom, and I don't know, it was gonna be a difficult thing for her, you know. And well, the person who actually killed her, it was actually Negan. Negan was the one who actually took her down, and I believe that was probably the right choice because I actually see Negan and Lydia kind of in the same situation. Both of them, they weren't accepted by Alexandria or anybody like from the Hilltop or Kingdom because everybody else thought that they did so much damage to their people, and both of them, they just wanted to find a way to redeem themselves. And so Carol was actually the one who led Negan out, and he was the one that actually made it work for them because he actually blended in with the Whisperers. It took quite some work, and he just made it out of there barely because the other person he had to worry about was Beta. Beta is actually way worse than Alpha. Beta. He's the right hand man of Alpha, and he's basically more dangerous than Alpha. He's like, I don't know, maybe more damaged. I don't know what was his deal, but there was like this one line that he said that there's this one song that I like to hear, and it's just the walkers just keep growing or whatever. That's just or something like that he said. But like, man, he was a dangerous person, and I think how they killed him off, I think it was fine, I guess. The cool thing is that we actually got to see him and Daryl actually fight each other. Because I was actually expecting like somebody like Daryl to actually fight Beta. Because if Rick wasn't there, then the other choice was actually Daryl. And I believe they chose the right person to actually face to face him. After they took down the Whispers, that's when Maggie came back. Now that's where I actually stopped on The Walking Dead. I'm actually on episode 17 of season 10. So there's actually another season coming in for Netflix on the 4th of January, I think. It's going to be a Friday for sure. Cuz I was just looking at it just now. It did said on January 4th, I think, on a Friday. It just changed to Friday, but I did remember the date. I can't wait to actually finish the show. It's crazy that I actually haven't had any spoilers for this show at all. Maybe because I'm just good at avoiding stuff, man. I'm just good at avoiding anything that is spoilers. Like, I don't follow any accounts that has spoilers on it. Like, I only follow news sites, like for movies, or sometimes I just follow. Well, sometimes I actually do get recommended stuff that is not spoilers on Twitter. That's the platform I actually mostly use, though. I mostly use Twitter to actually see what's going on in the world, and there's actually things I always get recommended, like that I actually like following, like comic book stuff, like for Marvel, DC, horror stuff, Yeah. And to be honest, I actually did saw a tweet from an account that I actually followed. It's called Discussing Films. And hold on, I'm just going to show you the tweet. I'm just gonna read it out for you, okay? Just read it out. And by the way, they're actually very good at their job. Let me see. I actually have it saved here. Okay, all right, here we go. So, Discussing Films, they tweeted out new horror films releasing in 2023. These include Saw X, Megan, Renfield, Scream 6, The Nun 2, Insidious 5, Salem's Lot, Infinity Pool, The Exorcist, Evil Dead Rise, Knock at the Cabin, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So far, those are all the movies we actually have for 2023 that are horror related. And to be honest, out of all the movies that are on this list, I think the one I'm mostly excited for is the one that is actually coming out in a few days, to be honest. And it's just in the beginning of January. And that one is called Megan. Yeah, it's the one with the doll, with the killer doll. Doesn't that bring you memories to somebody that you really love? Like your favorite childhood doll? Like your buddy? Yeah, I'm speaking about Chucky. And Megan is kind of like Chucky in a way. To be honest, she's an AI doll that is actually going to try to help the little girl in the story. The reason why the mom actually got her a doll was so she'll have a friend and she can protect her from anybody else. And from the trailers that I've seen for Megan, this movie actually seems pretty good. But I wish I did not see the second trailer. Because, man, dude, it's just, the second trailers, they usually do give out like a few spoilers, and like it actually gives you like the rest of the story of what's going to happen next. I just do not like that, man. It's just very hard to avoid at times. It was just I was just watching like a regular video on YouTube, right? And it just got recommended to me, and it was an ad that I could not skipped. I think it was, but no, it wasn't an ad that I could actually skip. But to be honest, I actually just kept watching it because I just wanted to see what's going to happen next for this movie. So it was kind of my fault in a way. But to be honest, I wish I clicked skip video because probably it was a part that I would have liked seeing on the big screen. Or like I would have been surprised for this part to actually come out in the movie. And I just wish they didn't include it. But it's just kind of my fault as well. That's what happens with movies today. Sometimes they give you a little bit too much of the movie, and they don't give you like some clues of what's going to happen next. A good example of a movie that does that, I feel like, is the movie that is coming out on February, I think, is with Batista. It's called A Knock at the Cabin. Now, this movie is an M. Night Shyamalan movie. He's the guy who actually made the Split movie, and recently he also made that ocean movie. What is it called? I forgot. Hold on, let me just search it up on Google. Okay, yeah, I found it. It is called Old. Now, that movie, I did not quite like how the whole movie was. Like, it had a good explanation by the ending of the movie, but like I feel like those horror parts, they weren't that scary, to be honest. People say that his movies are hit or miss, and I kind of do agree. A few movies that I have seen of his are The Visit, Split, Oath, and also After Earth, the one that was with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. Now, The Visit, that movie, it looks like it was actually a horror movie, but to be honest, it was kind of a comedy in a way, and in a good way. And it was actually in a good comedy way. I actually did like the movie. And wow, it actually came out in 2015. Jesus, that was 7 years ago. Well, it's actually about to be 8 years because, we're about to be in 2023. Well, as of right now, I'm in the last day of 2022. You guys that are watching and are hearing this podcast, you're actually already in 2023. Yeah, man. And now, speaking of 2023, here we go. My resolution. My resolution is to be positive and treat myself better. I believe it's important for you to be positive at times because, like, for me, sometimes, like, I'm negative at times, man, and I need to work on that, to be honest. Sometimes, like, I overthink of things and I feel like I can't do this, I can't do that. And I sometimes need to be positive and say, I can and I will. I still need to work on that, to be honest. To be honest, my 2022 resolution, it was to be more consistent with like uploading videos on YouTube or anything else in life, like to be consistent just like be a better person. And to be honest, I think I did well, but like just the days, man, just the days that I just don't feel like doing stuff, Those are the worst days, to be honest. And I really hate it. Anybody else will hate it as well. And the other part is to treat myself better. Yeah, like I said, there's like just there's just things that I just hate that I wish I can do much better. And just feel like sometimes I just can't do it. But I just have to think positive and just keep moving forward. This movie I really do like is called Meet the Robinsons. It's not horror related, it's a Disney movie, okay? Now this movie had a really good it had a really good quote. Just keep moving forward. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, and like the premise and the story, it was very good. I actually watched it when I was around 11 or 12. The kid never actually gave up on his inventions, and to be honest, he actually got to see himself in the future, and he was like a person that actually was very important to the universe that he was in. So it was actually cool to see that. Like his story actually started with his mom abandoning him. And you know the crazy part is there was this one part in the movie where he actually wanted to see his mother again, right? And if he actually did see his mother, there was 100% chance that his son wasn't ever going to be born, and probably something else. That life that he was an inventor and stuff maybe might not even had happened if he met his mom. That's what his son in the movie, well, like the person that came from the future to the present, he's the actual son of the main character, but like he's just the same age as him. But he was the one that was afraid that maybe he wasn't going to be born. And the good thing is that he did not get to see his mom, or else maybe his future would have been way different than fate would have wanted him to. Yes, that's what I bring back to my New Year's resolution, to treat myself better and to be positive. Hopefully, I can work on that more in 2023. And yeah, man, that's hopefully I do get to work on it more. And hope you guys are with me at all costs too. If you guys are listening to this, wherever you're getting your podcasts, and also here on YouTube as well. I also really want to speak to you about the day that I actually went to main event. Yes, this is like a newer version of Dave and Buster's main event. Main event, it was actually a fun night, man. I had a blast going with my church group. I actually do camera work for my church group, and there was this day this week that we went on a Tuesday. We went out, and I actually had a very good time, man. And I needed that, to be honest. I usually do not really go out at times, and I just feel like I had a great time. We played bowling, and to be honest, we did it last year as well. And I feel like this year I actually did way better at bowling than I did last year, to be honest. And oh my God, I actually might have ended like around in third place. Actually, I was losing in the beginning, but actually caught up by the ending. I was actually the last person to throw a bowling ball, and then that's when time actually went out. It actually ran out, and to be honest, the bowling ball that I was throwing, it was one of my friends'. So I had to get it back, and I actually went like on the rail where I actually throw the bowling ball. There were like people watching me and stuff. This is funny. Yeah, that was one of his bowling balls, so I had to go get it for him. And I didn't even know that he actually brought a bowling ball for himself. That one doesn't even have three holes. It only has two. I asked him, why does this one has two holes? He said, oh, this is just a professional ball. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. All right. That's cool. Before I go any further, I just want to go back a little bit. Like before we started bowling, me and my cousin and one of our friends, we started speaking about The Last of Us, the TV show that is coming out very soon. And to be honest, we're very excited to actually see the show. But I do not understand why people are hating this show so much. Like, there's like no reason why I believe this show should be getting any hate. I believe the actors who are playing Joel and Ellie, they're very important characters and they're the leads. I believe they got the right people to actually play them. We actually got Pedro Pascal. He's actually the man who played the Mandalorian, and we actually have the actress. Let me see her name. Let me just say. I want to say her name. Okay, her name is Bella Ramsey. She is playing as Ellie. I don't know why she's the one who's getting the most hate because she doesn't look like the character model for Ellie, which really does suck, man. The work that she did for Game of Thrones as one of the people who were in charge of a whole kingdom, I think she did a very good job playing as that role. If you guys have not seen her, then go to around season 7 of Game of Thrones. She actually comes out on that season, and I believe she played a very well job. I don't think there's no reason why she should be getting any hate. You just have to see how she'll play Ellie first. I believe the people who casted the people might have chosen the right people for the job. I don't think they would just choose a random person to actually play these characters. This franchise is loved by many. I actually did not like how the second game went, but the very first game, that game is dear to my heart, and I forever will like this game. It's a awesome game, and I wish that you can take my memory away from this game and I can replay it once again to experience it. It's a game that is just so good for its time. It came out in 2013, and it's a game that I really enjoyed when I was probably 16 or so. Yeah, I was probably about 15 or 16 when I first played it. I think the part that is very underrated was the factions. Or maybe not. It's a multiplayer mode that you can actually play with 4 characters, 4 for each team. It's like very awesome at times. I think there was an actual free for all as well. It was a very fun experience, to be honest, and I enjoyed most of the game. My favorite character, obviously, was Joel. I just feel like what they did to him in the second game, I just feel like it was like, what in the world, dude? It should not have happened like that. I cannot tell you what actually did happen to him because since the show is actually coming out very soon, I do not want to spoil it for you. Yeah, the show's coming out around January 15, and I feel like if I tell you what happened to him, then you might hate me. So yeah, no spoilers here, man. No spoilers here. But to be honest, I just told you something about The Walking Dead. But that was what I was watching recently, okay? Give me a break, okay? But yeah, man. Going back to The Last of Us, They actually remade the game and it came out in 2022. I actually did not get the copy because it's just $70 and it's actually the same game, just with better graphics, to be honest. There's nothing else different about it, I believe. And there's no factions on it as well. So I thought, why would I get this game since I already have it as a remastered version on the PlayStation 4? I actually rebought it like around 2017 or 2018, like when the remastered version came out for The Last of Us. But yes, I am excited for The Last of Us show. I think the season, like out of the 4 seasons that came out on the game, like summer, winter, spring, and fall, I think the one I'm mostly excited for is the winter time. I want to see how they do it for that part of the game. Would it actually be kind of the same thing as how they did in the game, or will they do something different with the TV show? Yeah, man, I can't wait for that show, and probably I will be speaking to you about it in the upcoming episodes once we get there, hopefully. And yeah, guys, I think that is it for this podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and wherever you're listening to this, like a Spotify or iHeartRadio, make sure to subscribe and I'll see if you guys actually are enjoying this show or not. Hope you guys enjoy the podcast, man. And I hope I keep doing that. If you guys want to follow me on my personal YouTube channel, it is Cristopher Zamora. My name is spelled with Cristopher. Cristopher Zamora. Zamora. Cristopher Zamora. That's my personal YouTube channel account. So if you guys want to follow me there, I also have my Twitter account, which is ChristopherJ300, and my Instagram, which is Zamora_3005. So if you guys want to follow me there you go. All right, that is it, guys. Thank you for watching or listening. Take care, guys. Bye.